try to run over the whites and not be able to do much. That's
Hit it with
it.
your phone, see if it's working
And your
correctly.
turn.
It should be, but make sure it's public and all that.
Let me know when it's my turn.
Yep, Dan, it's your turn.
Okay.
top of the right.
Are they within range of Eldritch Blast? The one that I hexed.
Yes. Considering Eldritch Blast range is like 120 feet, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good.
Eldritch Blasting it.
Which one?
The one that I hexed.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And that is a 10.
A 10 to hit?
I rolled a 7.
Oh. Unfortunately, that's not enough to hit the ghoul. So, that is a miss.
Yeah, I see it.
Anything else you want to do? You still have a movement.
Yeah, I'm going to start moving around the ice towards my ally. I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna try and keep the rope in hand though.
Okay. You now have a grappling hook to the boat. It's going like.
God, I want to be a monk of the level where you can run across anything and just have him hold the end of that rope and I'd run up it to the boat.
We're going to move that swinging because we're stress testing if we can even handle this one of these strings.
Okay.
You're there.
Yeah.
I can't afford the $400 a month.
I'm going to assume that his turn's ended, and we're going to go on to Electra.
That hurt.
All right, so he didn't do any sort of attack or anything. Or did he?
No, you did Eldritch Blast.
Oh, that's right, the Eldritch Blast. All right. Well then, so
I missed.
have 2 ghouls and a white on me?
Yep.
Okay. Then I will... let's see here, I think I have to draw one. Yep, so I will drop the bow.
Okay.
And actually, you know what? I will not. I will take my bonus action disengage.
Ah.
And then I will run up 30 feet away. Actually, can I get onto the boat with that?
Yeah, you would be able to.
Alright, then I will get up onto the boat. Anybody else up here?
Nope. Just
Okay. Then I will shoot
I can't hear anything.
the white.
Shoot at the white. Oh, wait,
Yep.
Dan, you don't hear anything?
I'm gonna double check to see if my thing came out.
Okay, you check that. All right, if you're up there, you're going to shoot at the
There we go.
unidentified.
At the other thing. The
the
thing
other
that
thing.
the thing that looks worse than the little guys.
Right. All right. Well, give me a number.
Oh hey, I found a cool dice roller. 17.
17 is definitely going to be able to hit this thing. So give me a number for damage.
It is a. You said a D 1 to 10.
Actually,
1 to 10 is an 8.
8. All right. Okay.
Okay. It was funny. In Google, I just typed dice roller, and literally in the results, you don't even have to open a web page. It has a really cool graphical dice roller that just shows up, and I can click a D4, 6, 8, 10, 12, or 20, and I can also add a modifier to it.
That's really neat.
Straight in Google's results. I don't have to open a web page or anything. It's just this nice, cool, nifty little box.
That's
cool.
Okay.
That's really cool.
That is. All right, so you are in the victory zone. None of the creatures are there with you. So currently you are trying to win. If you're able to keep them out of the zone for three rounds, you will win the scenario.
Oh,
Okay.
huh. Good to know. Hey, come keep these guys engaged.
Okay. But it is now their turn, and
Yeah.
unfortunately,
Yep, they're back in the zone because they're gonna come after me.
yeah,
It
pretty
would
much.
have. Yeah. Whoops.
Okay. They definitely have the movement to do it. It's 30 feet, so
Yep. Need
right.
Eldritch Blast with the invocation as a warlock that can push them back.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, I do not have that.
I'm sorry, I didn't take that one. But I'd first need to be able to connect with the Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, they are all around you. So
Grade on security flat. When the, let's say, Gentleman, or Gentleman, we can do like a
Down.
data investigation. So it's sort of. Confirmed is how it's but it's hard to tell what
John, I'm gonna mute you.
Who's talking?
Whoever's going through John's computer.
Oh, it's coming through John's. John, you're giving us a lot of extra talking.
I just muted him on mine. So
Oh, okay. Let me see if I. Oh, there we go. Now he's
There we
Thank you,
go.
John.
Thank you, John.
okay, there we go. Awesome. Okay. So a 16. Would that hit the rogue?
A 16 will hit me on the number. Yep.
All right. In that case, 6 points of damage and make me a Constitution saving throw.
Uh-oh. All right. That would be a. Ooh. Ha! 4.
You are paralyzed.
Ah. Paralyzed, but not prone, right?
No, but you're paralyzed.
Which
So
is not
that
good.
means you can't move or speak. You
Yep.
automatically fail strength and dexterity saving throws, and
Mm-hmm.
attacks against the creature have advantage.
Well, we might get to find out what happens when I die. Alrighty.
And any attack that hits the creature is a
Is a crit.
critical
Yep.
if
It
the
auto
attacker
crit.
is within 5 feet of the creature.
Yep.
But that's that one duel. The other one with advantage.
At least my AC is still there.
Well, a 19.
Ooh.
All right.
I think this would kill you.
Yep. This one's gonna put me down.
Yeah. So that would be 7 times 2, so 14 points of damage. Your character
Yeah.
dies.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that doubles my hit points if I'm a low first or second level character. So yeah.
Yep, pretty much. That is definitely done. All right,
Yep.
let us find.
Insta kill.
Let's find.
But hey, now you get to see how you give a dark gift.
In a specific area. I bet it's in the other file that I'm going to look at, of course. Ah! Dun, 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 dun. Oh, let me ask John if it might be something.
No, John ran away.
So,
He just teleported.
I know. You're like, let me ask John, and poof, he's gone.
yeah, well, luckily he's just running the other room.
That's good. That helps.
I'm still going to look up the area, but there might be something that he needs to know about or do.
At least with us right now, you don't have to worry about spoilers because we're not actually playing.
Exactly, but that is why we're doing all this.
Yep.
John,
No.
if a player dies, there's a special thing where they get revived.
Yes.
Uh, do we have to do anything with you? Do we have to let you guys know about the instance, or should I just run it as the GM and?
Run it as the GM and they have to log it.
Okay, cool.
Which screen are we talking?
Is RPG-GR6.
Okay, drive.
You do Zoom for now. We don't like Zoom, so I'll see that.
I'm running it right now, asking about the queue.
That's not the right one.
And also keep in mind, if you need to, you can, I think you can right click a person and send them a private message that's just between the two of you, so that if you don't want to share details with the other players, like if they don't know what's happened. Like when someone's cursed or whatever.
Oh,
Just an idea for you.
You can also use the private messages to contact me or to let Electra know you need a rules question.
Yep.
hey, I see the private message. Cool.
Good. You saw I did one.
I did.
That was actually instant too. I literally hit send and you said, "Hey, I see it." So that's cool.
That is
There was
cool.
no lag.
For rules.
Yeah, if you need a player to act a certain way because they've been possessed or they have a dark gift, so now they have some new personality quirk, you can let them know there.
That would be great. Okay, this not in the admin document.
All right, let's see here.
Okay.
Shared with me. John, what is it under in the Google Drive? It's Google Drive, right?
Yeah. But it would be under the SpoCon.
What are you asking me? Please send me a message.
Oh, I was just asking where on Google Drive the documents are because I'm pulling them up.
Which are then reported.
The documents for what?
For our case.
For the in general for the
Or going to Sword or Lion, but if it goes to Eagles, a boon earned at my table goes to him.
Electra, call me on my phone.
okay.
I think.
Let's see here. I will have an interesting time calling you since I'm also videoing from my phone. Can I text you?
Yes.
I just meant while you look that up, I'm gonna mute real quick and attempt to give John a call.
Cool. Because this is important to know. So. Character death. There it is. All right. Okay, so Dan,
Yeah.
the page that deals with character death is on page 4 of the main book.
Yeah.
Oh, did you already see where it is?
Yeah. And the dark gifts are on page 5.
Okay. Yep. Why didn't you tell me? Because that's what I've been looking up.
Because I just found it, like a moment before
okay.
you told me.
So we found it at the same time.
Pretty much.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
Roll a d4 and, you know, at night, I just rolled a 4. At night, the character can spend 1 hit die to move through solid objects as though they were difficult terrain. The character takes 5 or 1d10 force damage. If they end their turn inside the object, the character counts as undead creature for the purpose of spells and effects such as turn undead.
Okay, so there's two options. One is after the battle, you might be able to have a faction ally raise you from the dead for the usual cost for raising a player from the dead. I don't play enough Adventures League to know that inside and out. And also at first level, you probably don't have that.
Yeah, you don't. Actually, according to Adventure League rules, usually I believe it actually says up to 5th level they'll res you for free once.
Ah, okay. So you would be able to get your free res at the end of combat. Otherwise, if you, as the player, wish to take that dark gift.
Oh, for the fun, I'm totally doing that right now.
All right, so
And plus, that'll help you know how to give it and deal with it.
the life starts to kind of leave your body, and then you feel these tendrils of energy that also suffuse parts and replace a bit of the life energy that was leaving your body at that time. And you feel revivified, but not able to act yet. But something doesn't feel necessarily right. You'll resurrect at the beginning of your turn, I believe.
Okay, so I'm crumpled on the ground right now.
Start of the next round. So, yeah, right now you are crumpled, but you feel that there is a dark energy that is kind of suffusing part of the energy as you start to leave your body. But it feels odd, strange, and just wrong in some instances. Okay. So with that, you're currently passed out of the ship. The things there going like, hooray! Because they took you out. Dan, it's your turn. Wait, no.
You see them
Okay,
celebrating.
so I'm gonna abandon what I was trying to do with the grappling hook. I'm gonna
Okay.
move forward, kind of, lash out with the grappling hook to dislodge it as my interact with object. As my action, I'm going to Eldritch Blast the one that I hexed.
Okay.
So, will a 14 hit?
14. Should hit. 14 does hit, yes.
I think I may have muted again.
Alexa.
Hold on.
Yep.
Check Roxadine's email.
Okay. Well, let's see. The Gmail, right?
I was gonna say, so are we playing until they're done or until?
Okay, did I hit?
You do.
It takes
yeah.
14.
To make it faster, that ghoul drops down to the dead or unmoving.
All right.
Okay,
So,
then as my bonus action, I'm going to move the hex
how
onto
many people?
onto the white.
John, can you mute again?
How many people can I let
Horribly
go?
complicated, I imagine.
I just need GMs only, right?
You just need everyone running for every strain. Stress test the strain. Players do not
As long as
matter.
you know what
Players
you're doing,
and captains on it.
you don't have to worry about the
Captains.
captains or
Yeah, captains don't matter.
the job.
Yeah, I think we just lost our.
Okay. I will,
We just addressed it's all working, right?
right,
Yeah, now we just have to stress test if the handle or not.
right. Then we'll get a hold of, we'll set up another schedule, another day to train the monitors. Okay. So let me go room by room and tell everybody that.
It's like all of the
I think we lost our GM.
by themselves.
Okay.
But I think he's in the room next to you.
He's not here.
He's what? there you are.
I'm back.
Yay.
Sorry about that. Okay.
I think we lost our GM.
Yes, you did. John, I hear you were saying something. What was it?
Realms-wide announcement.
What?
I have a realms-wide announcement. Every cable, listen up, be quiet. Don't mean that to come out rude, but I do need everybody quiet, so I'm the only one making screechy noises. All right. If you are a captain, or if you are a monitor, you may now leave. We will set up a new gate for the monitors. Captains may leave if they want, or you guys can continue to play for as long as you want. But I need all the DMs to stay in their rooms.
You're getting a huge amount of reverb in my room.
I'm getting a huge amount of reverb here, and I don't really make everything without happening until I get headphones in my head.
Right. Well, I can't even make out what you're saying.
Everyone,
not on
mute
mute,
your
'cause that's some
mics if
impressive
you are not
feedback.
me. Everybody, mute your mics. All right, that should have solved the
Oh,
problem.
although John, you probably need to unmute yourself.
No, I am unmuted.
Cannot hear you, John.
Okay, I am now unmuted.
There we go.
All right, let me double check, make sure I'm unmuted everywhere. We're going to have to make sure that doesn't happen during the game, because I will have to make announcements to the entire group at one time.
Would you make a thing that says everyone else mute?
Yes, I will post a thing in the chat room, mute. And then when everybody's quiet, I will make my announcement. That's an excellent idea. All right, so if you are a monitor, I will be setting up a separate rehearsal just for you to practice your procedures in it. We'll do it one at a time, or all the time. I like to at least get Facebook's done in one day, Twitch on another day, etc. We will make that happen for the monitors. We are setting up the streaming keys now, and we really can't test them until we load test them. So, as far as captains are go, you are also released if you want to be released, but if you want to continue practicing, rehearsing, and playing, you can do that for as long as you want to. I need the GMs to stick around, whether they're playing or not, until we have set up their computer to broadcast. Does everybody understand me? Thumbs up if you understand. Alexa, I know you understand me. You're wonderful. Okay. Continue rehearsing if that's what you need to do. Otherwise, I will talk to you. I will talk to you as I need to. All right. Thank you. Thank everybody for all your help. I know this is harder than you planned on.
So John, I think that you would give a lot of those reverb problems if you were yourself on headphones and got rid of the speaker there in your room.
That is the plan, but I will also go through and make sure that I tell everybody in each of the rooms to mute, so that everybody will know that announcement is incoming. I may just put the word announcement, then when you hear that, you know, you mute, everybody can start muting their mics, let their people know in the room. No, this is coming, whatever.
Right, and then Bill Randall, we got started trying to do this a little bit, but it seems like Natalia has gone off of something. You want to do this, or what are your thoughts on that? All right, then I'm going to go ahead and well, I think a little bit of exercise before my family's in Colorado. Let you guys go with Billy and Natalia might kind of work on that a little bit more. And then I think Natalia and I were talking about
I'm going to mute now. I am muted.
But good luck with everyone.
Okay, Dan, Electra, are you wanting to finish this and then talk about how the general flow is going to go?
Yeah, I'm fine. Then
I'm okay.
we can.
Okay, one minute, one person at a time. Bill.
Okay, so let us say,
Bill, what is your question?
what happens if you guys all die and you guys aren't able to actually complete it? I'll ask John that later. Let's say.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of feedback loop right now.
I am.
We cannot delay this any further. This has been rescheduled 3 times. I'm going to lose every single one of these paying customers if we do not finally give them what they're paying for. So this isn't like, oh, we'll just put it off. We have paying customers. We have to do it. So 3 weeks it is. Rehearse, practice with each other, ask any questions. I'm sending William the eventually questions, so expect people like Matt to call up and say, oh, is this illegal?
So, I believe, if I understand it correctly, that you have a bigger map in the studio with your that'll show you where you are, and once you're done attacking that group, it'll move on somewhere else. You're basically this pawn in it. So.
All right, so like she said, you will move from table to table. You will turn off your screen and mic in the room you're not in. You'll turn on your screen and mic in the room you are in. And you'll be able to know which you are in because you only have 2 rooms. You go back and forth between them. Yeah, and I have a map here to do it. There will be a map behind me showing exactly where you are located at the time you're attacking. Correct. You are literally flying away and attacking a different group in a different sector. Correct. Only 2 groups.
RPG Research YouTube, RPG Research Twitch, and RPG Research Facebook.
Okay.
Those 3 are all streaming now. It's just still stuff.
No. If we don't have 3 people per table, RPG, Wizards of the Coast has told us to close it down. Everybody must get their players. I'm telling you, they have to have a minimum of 3 players. There's no grouping of just one player group. We must run all 6 tables. It's a minimum.
Yeah, to run the epic, you have to have them all.
So if any dungeon master doesn't have enough people in their group, they need to get enough people.
Oh, I have someone who wants to play it, and he's kind of a first-time player, but he wanted to play, so I'm gonna have to get that information from you two for him.
Okay, just go to rpgresearch.com/events and select the thing. If they played Dungeons and Dragons before, enough that they can play once with you, so they need to join one of the lower tier games.
Yep.
Okay. But we need mostly in the tier 2 and 3, where we need the most players.
Okay.
All right. I'm muting now. Go back to what you're working on and doing. If you're no longer going to be running games, that's fine, but I still need my dungeon masters, not my captains, to stick around. Yes, he left. Yeah. So he said he's rescheduling the time for you guys to practice. Okay. Yeah. Everybody, each tier should be getting together with the other tiers and practicing that. Everybody should know that you can private message me or text message me. Text messaging is probably the safest way to go if you need to talk to me.
John,
Yes, you have my number. Everybody, I need quiet for a moment. Make sure I got everything you need before you start talking to me.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So John's muted on ours, so we should be able to talk here.
Oh, he might want to mute us though if he's still in the channel, because otherwise it looks like he's talking to someone else, but he will also still hear us unless he's muted us.
Hopefully he does mute us. I'm going to guess that he's done that. So
Okay.
we should be good to
Okay.
continue
Yep.
this.
Yep, I'm good.
And then talk about how transitions go. I did
Yep.
put in the chat the links to tables A and B for tier 1.
Mm-hmm.
I have 5 players that are signed up. Dan has 6 players that are signed up. No pressure, bud. Yeah.
And I believe I'm going back and forth between those tiers.
Yep. It's just table A and B. Both of them are tier 1.
Yep.
But like John said, we need the higher levels to be filled out, or else we won't be able to.
Well, I might be able to get someone who can. He might be able to play the higher level. I'll find out because he is playing a higher tier in another game, but he's still new. He's only played D&D like 4 times ever.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, I don't know anybody that has an adventure league character that would be able to play in the higher tier
he
game.
definitely doesn't have an AL character. I do, but that doesn't help.
No, unfortunately not.
I could bring
Sad.
Nala in. She's a level 20.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
That would be fun. I could light the world on fire. I have more AC than Tiamat.
That's
Not up. I'm running Tiamat.
that's ridiculous. All right, so back to this.
Yep.
To figure out exactly how this is going to work, let us say that you were able to slay the whites, and that actually would cause the other undead to flee. One potential thing, because the goal of your area is to either secure the boat, because that is your victory area, or to defeat the enemy champion, which is the white.
Ah,
So one of those two things happen, and you guys would win.
okay.
So let's say you guys do that. With that over, you would then go to sector LB, I think. No, this is the harbor. Hold on. Actually, what do I announce whenever you guys beat this area? What do we do?
And by the way, I rolled a 4 on my D4 for Dark Gift.
Oh, well, in that case, you would have. Let me pull that up real quick. I want to say it's.
You can phase through objects.
It looks like it's the one
Oh,
that
you can
goes
phase through objects.
I what?
You can phase through objects.
Yep. That's cool.
That
At
is super
night.
cool. Yep.
Yeah, that's neat. But if you do, oh fuck, that's a hell of a downside though. Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you're also undead.
if you're with someone who uses the effective turn undead, you're affected.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
Because you're turning undead.
Correct. Oh, that's funny.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up the admin PDF.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, that doesn't help me.
Mhm.
Okay, gotta go to the actual.
I'm pulling stuff up on my tablet, but wow, that thing is slow. I tried to log into the video thing on it and it was like, no. Just no.
Well, I have a really good surface that I'm using, but I just don't know exactly what I'm looking for. Uh, track briefing. Okay, so we are the elite groups. We're controlling the elite groups for the lion track or the spearhead.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one of our groups is given at the beginning the goal to either go after to so-called keep to light the beacon.
Mhm.
That is a signal for Group Eagle to do to blow up Stonejaw Gate. The other group goes to the graveyard to raise Doom Guide to Landon. I think we had talked about this previously, and I was going to run the group that was going to take them to go to Sokol Keep. Does that sound right?
I believe so. I'm double checking my thing right now
Okay.
because it's, okay. There's area A is the frozen bay. Area B is the harbor.
Yeah, Area A is Frozen Bay, which is where this encounter that we just ran through.
Mm-hmm.
That's where this would come from. And there's 4 available maps that we would be able to potentially run on. Um, oh, hey, I see this. Rules. When entering the sector, move the banner on the HQ map, play the encounter in the sector. So this is step 2 of rules that's on the map. This is where I was looking for. Let me rotate that.
And I have to figure out when I have to swap between tables too as the roaming vampire. I said pirate before, and that was a mistake. That's because I was the one who ran the epic last year, so I controlled, or well, year before last, I guess. I controlled all the tables. I was in John's spot. John was actually one of my roving people, and my sister played the roving pirate.
Well, if you don't have the fangs for the vampire, maybe just throw some glitter on your face.
Oh God! Oh God! God, I hate those books.
So, just so I make sure I have this right, you guys would do that, and I don't see anything to read as if you guys have a victory. But would I announce just that you can choose to either move to an adjacent sector, such as Harbor or East Flan. Uh, Currently, Old Flan is walled off, and they have to wait until Eagle does bombardments and clears that up.
Hmm.
Or there is a mission that you can undertake in this area, and only one of the groups are able to take that mission.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds fun. Let's take the mission from some other people.
What I'm thinking is the group that finishes first has first option to take
Basically,
the
yes,
mission,
that's
and
correct.
they could choose to either undertake that mission, or they could choose to move on to their next area and leave that for the other group.
Mm.
But how would the other group necessarily know if the other group has taken on the mission?
Well, that's the thing. Like I said, my experience is from running this from the head GM's position last time.
Mhm.
Each table's GM should tell that person who's tracking the whole thing which events they did or didn't do, and therefore, when every table gets done with theirs, they should be informing the head GM
Okay,
that they're ready, and he can tell them what's not available or what
gotcha.
is available.
So it'd
So
be
it should
kind
be
of
coordinating, but I can help John with that if we need to, because like I said, I did it the other year.
so for our purposes, it'd be kind of like they're using the sending stone that they have to communicate back to the headquarters
Exactly. Yeah.
so that they're not accidentally going to the same location. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm a bit confused by
I
something.
got this now.
That is
Okay,
actually a really good way to look at it.
cool. Well, like I can be like, yeah, we're gonna do this all behind the scenes, but I prefer to have an in-game thing of what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that'll be just them talking to, I believe it's Stone Castle or something.
I think so. That sounds right.
So I'm a bit confused by something. I'm like taking a look at the sectors A all the way to E. Are
Okay.
we, are we switching off where, for example, you do, LA and then I do LB and then we do CE, DE, all the way through E? Because I think
Are
you
you talking
said
about just
you're
this practice run or in the actual epic?
in the actual epic.
In the actual epic, we both start off at LA, Frozen Bay.
Okay.
Then, whichever one of our groups gets done first with their objective would then choose to either undertake the quest in the sector,
Uh-huh.
move to an adjacent sector, or they can play another encounter in that sector.
Okay.
But every table needs to do something different, kind of.
Kind of. Well, I mean, technically, you guys could they could play the other encounter that is in that sector.
Mm-hmm.
When you do an encounter, you would choose the difficulty for that encounter, and then if they win, they get the victory points. So they could do this first encounter. The first encounter is one thing they absolutely have to do.
Yeah.
Period. After that, they can choose to do another encounter for further loot and victory points for the overall epic,
Yeah.
or they can go do a mission that is in the area. Now, there's only one mission, so only one of our groups are able to attempt it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? John, we'll have to be communicating with John who's going on the epic first, or who's going on the mission first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That way, we don't accidentally have both the groups try and do the mission.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. But
Okay.
what I understand the going from missions encounters to missions. I'm just thinking, were we dividing up the sectors afterwards? Because I know that we have to go through the sectors as well.
I was kind of thinking that, but the thing is the players can choose to go a different route. But I don't think that they're going to necessarily do that. They might
Okay.
because they're players, but we have 2 maps each that are going to be from each of the areas. And maybe one group just gets really lucky real fast and is able to just clear, Frozen Bay. Then they very easily clear the harbor, and then by that time Eagle has unlocked unlocked Old Flan for them,
Uh-huh.
so then they can just go to Old Flan and finish it. And if your guys have been delayed there and they're just now getting to the graveyard, they might be able to do an encounter there, or they could go over to East Flan and do an encounter there. So we're going to need to be able to run every one of the sectors.
Okay. Okay. So
Does that
they
make
can
sense?
rove in at the various sectors, but Old Flan needs to be unlocked.
Yeah, Old Flan is the only one that they cannot enter until it's unlocked by Eagle.
Okay.
And similarly, there's another sector that can only be unlocked by one of our groups unlocking it. And
Yeah.
I think that's the sector that would be unlocked by doing raising Doomblight Glandon. So once one of our groups gets to the graveyard and raises them, or does that encounter, then it unlocks the next part for, I think it's Broadsword, that we would unlock for.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Cool. So, all right.
It was so fun running the last epic. It's going to be a little different being online this time, but it was actually a ton of fun for everybody.
I'm looking forward to this I'm nervous because I've never run a epic before,
Mhm.
but now I'm doing it and it's online. So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting, and I look forward to it. But whew, I'm nervous. All right. So
I heard
we're
some
gonna
people
get-
talking about playing in the last epic, and I was pleased to hear they enjoyed it because I put a massive fuck ton of energy into it.
it did take a lot of
Like I
energy.
made packets for all the DMs, and I actually reorganized the entire PDF and printed it out especially for the different tiers and everything, and put the sections together so if your characters choose to go here, instead of having to flip between all these pages, here's the series for if they go there, here's the series of pages if they go here, and so on. But it took like, oh God, I worked pretty much full time at that for like a month and a half to 2 months, just getting everything fully prepped for my DMs.
Yeah. Well, luckily, we're doing all the prep that we can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dan, but do you see the rules on the map with the lion that I was talking about?
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. That's basically the flow that we would be having to deal with outside of an encounter. So, encounter's done, then uh, they should have to report back to Gray Castle, and then they can figure out what their next moves are.
Yep.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do know some higher level people with AL characters who might be willing, but they had said that they weren't sure if they're gonna actually be available that weekend or not because they didn't have their work schedules yet.
Hmm.
So I might be able to get a few people into the higher tier games, like two people.
See, I kind of feel kind of weird because like I've got some characters that I haven't been able to play since like pandemic in AL.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The highest
Like,
level one I've got is like a 5th level character.
uh, yeah, I've got some high level AL characters, but since I'm, doing this, I can't exactly play at the same time.
Right.
I actually don't have any AL characters, and I've actually not been a DM for Adventures League.
I've
Uh,
got characters for all the tiers actually.
but I do a whole lot for RPG research,
Mm-hmm.
so that's what I do.
Yeah, well, if you DM enough stuff in AL, then you can make an AL character.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because you can use your DM points or whatever. I'm not sure how the current AL conversion is, but I know if you DM enough, then you can use them to make a character that's not just a first level. Or at least you used to be able to. I assume you still can. Hey, John. If you are talking to us, you are muted.
I am muted because there's so much.
Okay, now you are not muted for us.
Yes, the question is, am I going both between both? Yes. So when it's your
Okay.
turn to attack, you
Mhm.
are going to show your face and unmute
Yep.
in the table you're attacking. You spend
Yep.
1 round interacting with that table. Then you turn off and mute and go into the next room, turn on and unmute and attack that table. And
Makes
you just
sense.
back and forth.
Yep.
And you will be tracked on the big map behind me.
Okay, and we're telling you, we've just been discussing this, but we're telling you when our players, or the GMs are telling you when players go to a specific area so you can track that, right? And certain missions that only one group gets to go to, you know about. So basically, when they finish something, they would use their sending stone to report into headquarters, so to speak, and find out what the players are actually allowed to do at that time.
Hey, I'm
Yes.
trying to stream to Facebook.
Yeah, that's how we just kind of went off
No
of
idea
that.
what the page is.
So Dan, at this point, they can the three difficulties they can choose. also have variances in victory points that they would earn if they succeed in the scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And medium, hard, and difficult and deadly. There is no easy.
Yeah.
Well, it is epic.
So, yep. The treasure also is changed depending on their difficulty.
Yep.
And for us, it's 5 for medium, 10 for hard, 15 for deadly. And then the quest treasure. So if they finish one of the quests, they get 50 gold per character. And the previous amounts were also per character. So
Okay.
I already looked at. And if we find that our group is not working well together, or they're being almost overrun, even if they're choosing the medium difficulty, then
Let me set you up for YouTube stream.
oh, okay. Let me get this real quick. So if it's too hard for our group, you are able to do a reinforcement unit, which for our track is the guards. So
Yeah.
that is just something to keep in your back pocket. Most likely, I'm not anticipating that being an issue. And if they choose deadly, it's going to be deadly. But if they're going on medium and they're still having issue, then we can put in the reinforcements units. So
Yep. Because you want people to have fun.
yeah,
A total party wipe straight out the gate
okay.
isn't a lot
So
of
with
fun.
that, Hawk needs this area so that we can set up YouTube streaming or something.
Okay.
Okay, that's exactly what it is. So I'm going to basically leave this room and just join Dan and just go through what I'm. Oh well, because I'm just reading through stuff.
Okay, because John said something about DM staying in their room. Is there a specific room?
We want everybody in all of the gypsy rooms and streaming, because this is a stress test of our bandwidth.
Okay, cool. Just making sure you didn't want to.
Yeah, I want all 6 rooms running, active video and streaming.
Okay. Yeah.
We have to see if
I was primarily getting confused with
make it all work.
even taking it, even things and the odd ones taking odd. I guess
Oh, no,
that's
just
encounters.
it's just the encounters and maps.
Okay.
That way we don't have to print out multiple sets of the maps.
Yeah.
We just do one set of the maps. You have the odd ones. I have the even ones. Or no.
But we're
you
sharing
have-
all sectors.
all the sectors are shared,
Okay.
and that is up to the players where they go. You might have a group that decide, well, we're gonna go to from Frozen Bay to East Flan, and both groups go to East Flan, rather than one group go to Harbor. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know how hard I'd have to railroad them.
Don't railroad them. Yeah, each of our groups are going to have an objective at the very beginning. My group's going to be for banner or thing on Old Flan. Yours is going to be in the graveyard. So the most direct route, the one that your players are going to see, is going to be like, oh, well, we can just go from Frozen Bay to East Flan, and then from East Flan to the graveyard to make sure that they get their objective done.
Yeah.
And whether or not they do other encounters or if they pick up one of the missions in the area is another thing.
The thing
But
to see if my camera works.
that will be in the middle of the game. Every sector has a mission.
And at least 2 encounters.
Yeah. I mean, technically there are 4, but we can only do 2 because we only have 2 maps for each sector.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So if they complete 2, if for example me, I'm even. If they complete 2, I can give them 4, and that's it.
That's it. We need to make sure that we have the mission maps, because those are special maps. And what we'll probably do to make sure that we don't accidentally somehow try to go to the same mission, have the mission maps with John, so that if they're going to take on the mission, we actually have to go to John, grab the map, take it, put it back up. That will also be a good way for us to make sure that we don't accidentally step on any toes that way. But we'll just have our maps for each of the areas set up, well, not set up, but, you know, ready to go as needed. Okay.
Or is that something that we can talk to our moderator saying, because it's literally just you, me, and her.
Yeah, Electra?
Yeah, if you say I'm taking a mission save the princess, you tell her, that we know, she can then direct us, like,
Yes.
oh, the save the princess has been taken. Because what I was thinking is having a list of like missions and like, okay, little boxes like, okay, I can take this one's been done, and I can track it here.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And that way we don't have to overburden John.
Yeah. Okay. We still need to get the map from him.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that would be a good idea if Electra could just put a thing in the chat that says, well, do we want to do that? Or no, she could just a private message to you to let you know that the other group has taken the mission. Electra, did you hear that?
Yeah, you want me to help keep track of where players are, basically, or what mission they chose, so that it's easier to not have to bog John down.
Right.
Right, yeah. So we'll make sure that you definitely know that we're taking the mission, or whichever one of us is taking the mission, so that you could,
Okay.
if you would, send a private message to the other GM.
Yeah.
That way we're not overlapping. Okay.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Cool. Yeah, this looks great. Oh, and I can even set up the encounters on D&D Beyond ahead of time. That way, I just gotta roll on the table and then go like, okay, it's gonna be this one. This is the counter we're gonna run.
Okay.
That's nice. That is very nice. Because I use D&D Beyond a lot. So.
I haven't really used it all that much.
I like it a lot because I'm lazy. Yep, that's the only reason. That is the only reason. So, I should have been adding 1d3 zombies at the end of.
We had 2 players.
I mean, that's true. Well, but it says the condition is to defeat the enemy champion, which was the light, and at the end of every round, add 1d3 zombies to the reinforcement zone if the champion is still alive. When the champion falls, that's when allied forces. So why do they have a? No, I'm gonna look at this real quick. Okay, Frozen Bay. So why do they have a victory zone?
Because I think we need to get in there and play King of the Hill.
Not for mission 4.
It's mission 4.
Defeat the enemy champ. Oh, okay. That's not tied to the area. That is just the objective. Oh, now I'm understanding. The maps are able to be used with any of the 4 objectives. You don't know what your objective is.
My camera was working earlier and it's not now, so for the stress test I'm going to restart my phone so I can hopefully be in here on video so it helps with the stress test.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
So each of the maps are able to be used with any of the objectives because they all have a victory zone. Some of the encounters, like Conquer and Hold, that has a victory zone. Others, like the Defeat the Enemy Champion, do not. But that's where the reinforcement zone comes in to play. Cool. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I figured. Okay.
So in Harbor, there is for you escort the healer and ambush patrol. For me, it is steal enemy orders and capture officers. Sector L, B, Harbor.
We shouldn't need to worry about splitting up the objectives because the objectives aren't going to overlap too much. It's the maps we have to worry about. So so if you come here, I will show you. So you're gonna.
Oh, okay.
So you're
Because
gonna.
I had looked at the map set.
Yeah, the objectives, it doesn't matter. We could both have the same objectives because we're supposed to roll and then just go with it. So I will have 1 and 3. You will have 2 and 4.
Okay.
Okay? And they are not tied to the objectives. Any of these maps can be used with any of the objectives.
Okay.
So, and then in Harbor, where you were talking about, again, you can use any of these maps for any of the
I'm
objectives.
only using these two.
Correct.
In that case, we wouldn't have to go to John. We just already have them.
For these, there are. That's the graveyard. These are quest maps.
Okay.
They are special from the other ones. These have a special mission tied to each one of these maps. So this is why we would need to go to John.
Okay.
Because we don't want to print out these twice.
Right.
Especially when only one group can play it. There's no need to have multiple copies of these maps.
Yeah.
So this one, there is a specific mission for this map. And no other mission will be played on that map.
Okay.
On this one, so like in like Old Flan, this might have one mission, and if they do another encounter just to get more victory points and also get more loot, then I would have them run this one.
Same here.
And if they want to run another encounter in that area, I would have them go back to this area to have to either do something else because a new situation appeared.
Well, if they're trying to farm like an area, we only have 2 encounters and 2 maps.
We only have 2 maps. We have 4 potential encounters, and they could roll, and we could roll to give them as many of the encounters as they wish.
But I thought I was only taking even encounters and even maps, and you were only taking odd encounters and odd maps, which means for each of us we only have 2.
You could do that.
Yeah.
I only think we need to split up the maps because the maps are not encounter specific.
I understand that the maps aren't encounter specific.
Yeah. Well, initially when I was reading this, I thought that the encounters were tied to the map, and they are the only maps that are the mission maps. The encounter maps are not tied.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think that we actually need to.
Well, this is this isn't based off of us running it. This is just how an epic is run. But because we have certain constraints, that's why I think John was having us do, if you're in an even room, we take even maps and even encounters. Because I remember it's 2 things that we get.
Oh, okay.
Right. And that way, I only have these 2 maps. You only have these 2 maps. You are only doing the odd encounters. I am only doing the even encounters. Because there's encounter 2 and there's encounter 1.
Okay, hey, you guys wanna, I still have to print out your thing, I'm sorry if I haven't done that.
That's fine.
But let's talk maps.
Okay.
Out. You put your mask on and come out here.
Oh, yes.
I mean, both are important for different reasons.
Yeah, the YouTube one, there's still 24-hour wait, nothing we can do about the YouTube one.
Okay, I'm gonna let you say everything, and then I'm gonna ask the question, clarification. Clarification is not my fault. It has nothing to do with fault.
Seriously? Yeah.
There wasn't enough, something now? Okay. Good. So. Okay, how are we doing on everything else? Okay. So I'm just going to work with the people I have and. I'm going to ask those two to shut down and come back out in here. Okay. You want anything left set up, right?
Well, 2 weeks from now, right?
Yes.
So the bus we can leave, but the photo gets back to school.
Okay, everybody's sequestered.
They can leave everything over and I'll be okay.
Okay.
They just need to take their stuff.
We start organizing the map and dividing them amongst people. And I will get the others to go down the hill, because that'll be all before the end. And then we can talk about distributing the rest of the map for thinking of how to print it. Because I'm going to do that. This is, see that, but I'm just going to push all this off on you guys so that